These are all DecoArt. And I will start with showing you, I'm mixing up some Peacock Teal in my cup here. Everything is a 1-to-1 ratio, Floetrol to paint. And then pretty much DecoArt is about the right consistency where you don't need to add water to it. Maybe sometimes with the premium tubes, they're a little bit thicker, or sometimes the metallics, but not always. So it's always key to do the 1-to-1 ratio, and then the water to be the variable for, depending on the thickness of the paint. But you want it to pour off your stick like warm honey, and I'll show you that in a minute. I've got True Blue here. This is Dioxazine Purple. This is the lovely, lovely Vintage Brass, which I am out of it. I used what was left in the container. These are DecoArt Americana Decor, and this is metallics. This is Vintage Brass. They were out of this, so I got the Outdoor Living. It's called Brass. It's not Vintage Brass. So there's just a slight variation. This one is a little bit warmer looking. It's got a little bit more orange cast to it, or warmth to it. It's not quite as shimmery as the Vintage Brass. The Vintage Brass is the one that is really, really shimmery. But I had some of that, and I combined some of this in with it. So that is in that cup there. And this is a little bit of paint I had left over from another pour. It's mostly Quinacridone Violet, but I pumped it up a bit, but that's what's in here. I've got Lamp Black in a squeeze bottle. The copper, I had some left from the other day, and it was a lighter copper. This is Extreme Sheen, which is a very red copper. So I mixed it in with the other, so it's kind of like the color of a copper penny, a little bit deeper even. So that's going to be pretty great. Then this color here is the Rich Espresso, which is a brownish bronze color, but it's called Rich Espresso Metallics. I love it. And then I've got this paler gold, which is closer to a glorious gold. It's just a paler version, and it's not as shimmery as the Vintage Brass. But I wanted to make sure and have plenty of metallics because I love the metallics. This deep royal purple color, a little bit of that blue. Then I mixed up also this color. I mixed together. It's a little bit of like a phthalo, green and blue, and a little bit of Prussian Blue added to it to deepen it. So it's kind of like a really dark teal color. So this is the new color that I'm adding into this one that I was not in the other paint. So that takes care of all that. I'm going to show you how I mix the paint. I do a 1-to-1 ratio, so I just eyeball it. I look from the side of the cup, and if I've got, 4 ounces of paint, I use 4 ounces of Floetrol. But it doesn't have to be exact. It just needs to be close. Some people use more Floetrol than they do paint. Like they do a 1-part paint to 2 parts Floetrol. I just like to keep it 1-on-1. I feel like the color stays stronger. So I'm just pleased with the 1-to-1 ratio, and it's easy to remember. That's key as well. So this should be pretty much the consistency that you want. You want it to pour off the stick in a steady stream, which it is. And when it hits the surface of the paint, it doesn't stay in a mound. It kind of sinks down pretty quickly. So I'm just making sure all my edges, all the Floetrol on the edges is mixed in with my paint. You always make sure to get your edges all mixed in. And then I have my OGX that I put in a little dropper bottle. Just want one good drop of OGX, and that is all. And that would be the OGX Coconut Milk Anti-Breakage Hair Serum. The main ingredient, the first ingredient in it is dimethicone, and that is what you're looking for. It's just the magical ingredient. So there's my colors. I've got some leftover paint from a cup. I turned the cup over, and so I've got this paint that's on here, and I'm going to dribble a little purple, now. So this is a 2 5x7s. I'm going to put the other one on top and push down and squeeze. So totally press down, top, sides, bottoms, middle, everywhere. Okay? Then you pull apart. I'm going to have to put one down so I can do one at a time, but I'm just going to make sure and take these colors over the edge. And I don't even have to do that because you can totally put these in frames if you want to. You can paint the edges of the canvas. So all of those are covered. That one's covered pretty well. So there's that one. But this one, it was the one that was on top, and some of it is peeking through the canvas. So I've got to get some dribbles of color in there. But I don't want muddied color because then it will, totally mess up the look. So I've got to keep it pretty pure. So I'm trying to dip my fingers into colors that are really pure looking. To cover those little divots where the silicone is. So here are 2 5x7s. And it can be a background for something. It can be just paintings all by themselves. So that's 2 dips, and without the reflection of the light, I don't know if you can see. Of course, it has tons of cells because of the OGX. So there they are. I may throw in a squirt of something from my squeeze bottles. I'm not sure. I've got an 11 by 14 canvas. So I've got a little copper too in the very bottom of a cup. This was my copper, but I'm out of it. But it was the Extreme Sheen DecoArt Copper. So it's in the bottom, a little touch of True Blue. So now I'm going to do purple. Some gold, Peacock Teal, and this rich, deep turquoise color, beautiful color. I'm going to do a shot of black. The Rich Espresso, I'm going to finish that up. Do a little bit more purple and the deep teal color. Lighter gold, and then the brass. flip it over, and I'm gonna have a tray full of beautiful paint drippings for jewelry making and so forth. I mean, like a great selection of beautiful metallic colors and all. I love to do it in the Peacock colors. This is OGX coconut milk. I've got a drop in that and all my colors, just a drop, not a pump. And everything is mixed 1-to-1 with Floetrol. I don't add water. You don't really need to with DecoArt's paints, most of them. They're usually about just right with the 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm gonna poke a hole or two, release that air pressure. If you could only have what's in the cup. Don't think you can see because of the light, but it is just so beautiful. I'm going to heat this real fast. So this will finish out my Peacock series of paintings. I'm going to take it just to the edge. People talk about not being able to get sales, and it's like, I don't know, because I don't have any problems getting sales. Not sure what the reason is. I think I'll go ahead and bring it this way because I like that purpley blue color that's going on for the most part. Take it over this edge real fast. Center it back a little bit and then try to tilt this way a little bit. And over this edge, but not quite, because I don't want to lose that copper if I can help it. You can use your finger to kind of drag things over a little bit if you need assistance with the paint without totally messing up the design. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to let the gold drift down a little bit. Yeah, I really like that. So I'm going to try to leave that the way it is. I really like that. I love that vivid purplish blue there. It looks almost like a bird in flight or like exploding with gold at the top. It's really pretty. Oh yeah, I'm going to keep this one the way it is. Got a few touch-ups on the edges. That's pretty good. And my My canvas is a little loose, and someone told me when I put it down, just put it on top of a folded up towel to keep the center raised up, which is a great idea, which is what I'm going to do. So I'll be right back. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Check out the links below the video. There's a bunch of links below the video that tell you what products I use and give you different links to check out. Amazon, PayPal, Patreon, my Facebook group. So check those out, and also click on the bell at the bottom right if you want to subscribe and get notifications when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.